Okay, we're going to cut the legs for the desks. So that's these pieces here. If you're doing an apprentice, right, it's these two legs in the back, these two short stubby legs, and then two what we're calling posts up above. On the front drawing, it's that leg, that stubby leg there, and then that little stub, or post, we call that a post. On the Journeyman, it's 4 of these and 4 posts, and on the Masters, it's 4 stubby legs and 4 posts. You will receive in your cubby material for those, and I am going to rough cut them for you. Now the finished size of these is 1 3/4, and you can see that they're 2 inches to 2 1/16 inches. That one's 1 15/16. And we're going to take them down to 1 3/4. If needs be, if you want to leave them a little bit big, like we might be able to get away with taking this to 1 7/8. We'll see how it goes. Now on your pieces, it's drawn what they're intended for. So I have 4 legs. I'm doing a Journeyman, so I've got 4 legs that are going to be about 16 1/4 long. And then I've got 4 posts. And notice that they're detailed there so that you know where they're coming from. I'm going to square this all together. Those are too small to square individually. Now normally when we square something like this, you would do plane, plane, joint, table saw, miter saw, miter saw. But because they're square, there's another method that works really well that I want to show you, and that is to joint a face, joint an edge, and then plane, plane. And they'll come out nice and smooth and very square. Now, I don't know that it really matters what edge I joint first. But I'm going to take off as little as possible. So I'm going to draw a line down this so that I can see if I've missed anything in the process. See that I've missed a little bit right there where my lines are. So I'm going to run one more pass. Very good. And I'm going to write on here jointed so that I don't forget. Now my next cut will be an adjacent face right there, and the jointed edge is going to go against the fence so that this is precisely 90 degrees. It's always good to check the fence before you go to make sure it's at 90. It does fall out of 90, and that looks really good. Okay, as I'm going now, I want to make sure that this is tight to the fence. Don't let it fall away from the fence, because then you won't be at 90 degrees. So I'm using a paddle to get it tight to the fence as I go through. And I forgot to draw my lines on there. So very clean. I'm going to write jointed so I don't forget. Okay, here at the planer, we've got 2 jointed edges, this one and that one. So when we go through, the edge that gets cut off is the top surface. So I'll first plane that one, and then I'll take that jointed edge, put it on bottom, and plane that one. I want to keep these as thick as possible. That's just my preference. I can go all the way to 1 3/4. So I'm just going to take a measurement and see where my narrowest board is. That one's at 1 7/8. That cleaned up nicely. Okay. And I'm going to do the other edge. Joint edge goes down. Excellent. Now we've got 4 equal sides, 1 7/8. All the way around, and we've got square. So I'm going to do that to all 4 boards. Okay, I am going to be cutting 4 pieces that are 16 1/4 long, and then 4 pieces that are 2 inches. However, I need to make sure that this case that I made previously is still this dimension. If this dimension changes, it's going to take up, the difference is going to be made up here in the leg, either longer or shorter. So make sure you know what you're doing before you cut your legs to length. I have my cases here that I've worked on previously, and they are 10 3/4, and that's what the plan calls for. So there's not going to be any change. So let's cut those 2 inches off first, shall we? I'll cut this end off, clean it up. Measure to 2 inches. Now, before I make this cut, since I want all 4 of them to be the same size, I like to make a little mark there. And I can bring it right to that line, make my cut. There's one. Excellent. There's my 4 posts. I can make a mark down here on the table, and that works pretty good. Cut one end, flip it around, hit it right on my mark. Make the cut. Okay, there's my 4 legs. Now let's go lay out the angle and we'll cut them. And it doesn't really matter which way you lay them out, just be purposeful about it. Right, so I like the grain pattern here, and this is the most important to me, the front. So this is I choose a front that I like, it's uniform, and then side is probably next. I have the post, right, the case is going to go right here, and this is going to sit on top. And I've also been purposeful about where they go. So let's label them. Working from the front, I've got left, front, left, front, left, back, left, back, right, back, right, back, right, front, right, front. Set those aside for later. Now this angle is just meant to give a finished look to the leg. It's aesthetic. And if you don't like it, don't use it. Or if you want to change it to a bigger angle or to a round or an inside curve, all of those things are options. I like to put that angle on the inside of the desk. So I'll put one here and I'll also put one there. One here, one there, one there, 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 there. If you want to do a different template, make yourself one so that everything is uniform as you work through. So I'm going to remove this material. All that will be gone. And I also need this side. Okay, I've drawn the line and now I'm going to bandsaw it and sand it. And I've got that one to do and that one to do. And I drew these in a way so that I wouldn't cut one off before I cut the other one, right? So I cut that one off and then cut that one. Just going outside the line about a 1/16 of an